Good day, everyone. I am Angelo D. Alagos,
Juan Miguel D. Xavier.
And Andre Bon James Sanas.
and we are to present our research study entitled Evaluation of Agricultural Crops in the Highland Farms of Aningalan, San Remeo, Antique by Group 1 of STEM12-9. Background of the study. The Philippines is one of the world's largest archipelagic nations. Hence, it is considered a culturally diversified country. Highland agriculture is growing crops on high terrain areas such as mountain or hill, which is usually referred to highland farms of Baguio and Cordillera in the northern part of Luzon. Aningalan is a barangay situated in the municipality of San Remeo, Antique. Hence, the municipality of San Remeo is located entirely in the mountainous area of the province of Antique, an appropriate place for promoting highland farming, and is situated at the highest or the most mountainous part of San Remeo. Barangay Aningalan is at its best for highland agricultural crops. The mountain range occupied almost the entire province of Antique, and Aningalan is a barangay with a mountainous terrain situated in the municipality of San Remeo, Antique, approximately 39 kilometers away from San Jose, the capital town of Antique. The objectives of the study are the following. Number 1, to evaluate production output in terms of farm harvest in Aningalan, San Remeo, Antique. To determine the product quality based on physical attributes and sensory evaluation of agricultural crops in relation to their best management practices of different highland farms in Aningalan, San Remeo, Antique. And to identify the specific eco-farming techniques employed by the farmers to promote sustainable agriculture in the highlands of Aningalan, San Remeo, Antique.
Significance of the study. Countryside development is the most privileged program of the government, promoting eco-farms and highland farms in the Philippines, in order to provide sustainable agricultural crops to cope with the high demand due to the rapid increase in population, and also to create sustainable livelihood among farmers in the highland communities where farming is the only source of living. For us, the researchers, this study is geared to find out the valuable aspects of highland farming in the community, locally and globally competent. Scope of the study. The study will focus only on the evaluation of different agricultural crops of highland farms in Barangay Aningalan, San Remeo, Antique. The evaluation will be based on the production output as per harvest, the quality of agricultural crops, and to find out the ecological farming techniques employed by farmers in order to be a sustainable agricultural community. This study will be undertaken within the academic year 2020 and 2021. Limitation of the study. The study will limit only on the selected highland farms of Barangay Aningalan in San Remeo, Antique. The evaluation process will be limited on the production output, quality of the agricultural crops as compared to the products of the highlands of Baguio and Cordillera. And lastly, to know what are the ideal ecological farming techniques employed by the farmers to attain sustainability of agricultural crops and livelihood in the community. But because of the pandemic, the researchers have limited face-to-face contact to the farmers of Aningalan or to the research community. And to overcome these difficulties, the researchers are still able to arrange visits and interviews to the farmers by following the government health and safety protocols needed.
In this study, agricultural crops refers to the different products that highland farms produce in Aningalan. Definition of terms. These terms are used in the study are highland farming. Highland agriculture refers to the growing of crops on a high terrain, such as mountain or hill in the Philippines. Examples of highland farming areas include Baguio and the Cordilleras. In this study, highland farming is the agriculture in the mountainous area in Ningalan. Sustainability is the study of how natural systems function, remain diverse, and produce everything it needs for the ecological to remain in balance. It also acknowledges that human civilization takes resources to sustain our modern way of life. In this study, sustainability refers to how the farmers sustain the production of the different agricultural crops in the highland farms of Aningalan. Eco-farming techniques. Eco-farming is a method wherein the goal is not only to increase crop yield, but but to do so without compromising the quality of the yield and destroying the environment. Eco-farming does not involve you not involve the use of harmful or synthetic fertilizers and pesticides or generically modified seeds. Organic farming, a popular farming method, is a key form of eco-farming. In this study, eco-farming techniques refers to the management practices of farmers in farming different agricultural crops where we identify the different quality of products. Agricultural crops. In agriculture, plants are grouped into various crop classifications. Agricultural crops are plants that are grown or intentionally managed by man for some purposes. They are classified using various terms worldwide. Aningalan, tackled almost 1,000 meters from sea level. Aningalan sits among the small highland communities of San Remigio. This mountaintop is 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 doubled as the vegetable basket of Antique. Sometimes it is called the little the little Baguio. In this study, Aningalan refers to the place where highland farms are located.
Theoretical framework. The mountain range occupied almost the entire province of Antique, and one of the places is Aningalan, a barangay with a mountainous terrain situated in the municipality of San Remeo Antique, approximately 39 kilometers away from San Jose, the capital town of Antique. Barangay Aningalan is geared to improve extensively due to the development of road projects, which allows easy access to farm products and mobilization of farmers was enhanced to this community. Highland farming in Aningalan refers to the growing of agricultural crops in areas of high elevation. Such crops as strawberries, lettuce, carrots, chayote, flowers, and etc. Aningalan highland farming is still considered as an emerging agriculture in this place, but due to its topographical location and climate, a variety of agricultural crops are appropriate and easily cultivated by local farmers. In the last decade, vast lowland areas were converted into commercial and residential sites, and with the high demand of agricultural crops due to its increasing population, highland farming is encouraged here in the Philippines, utilizing the highland places. These highland farming methods are already practiced in other highland places in the Philippines, like the Cordilleras and Baguio, while Aningalan highland farms are still in the process of its developments, which aims to encourage farmers to improve crops as well as agricultural techniques to provide sustainable agricultural products and with harmony to our environment.
Conceptual framework. Highlands are places or areas that are mountainous in the nature ranging from 500 meters above sea level. Highland farming or highland agriculture is a promising livelihood to farmers in the mountainous communities. aside from highlands of Baguio, Cordillera, and Tagaytay. These Aningalan highlands could be a promising agricultural community for the province of Antique, with a variety of vegetables, fruits, and flowers could be grown here because of its favorable climate. As you can see in the chart, the independent variables are the farms in Aningalan, while the dependent variables are the products and harvest, product quality, and ecological farming techniques.
Related literature. Highland farming is growing crops on a high terrain area such as mountain or hill. It has an important role in enhancing food security and environmental sustainability in many countries of the world. Commercial fertilizers are more effective but expensive in the market. Organic fertilizers are cheap and has a good impact on the quality of crops, and it is eco-friendly. There is a relationship in the soil fertilization on the growth of crops. Crops that grow in highland farms are more dependent to the climate. Climate affects the weight, leaf length, growing degree days, and leaf growth rate of vegetable. The damage to the environment also affects the temperature in highlands farms where crops are the most affected in such active. The soil is needed to be monitored and must have enough moisture to maintain its good condition. There is a big impact on the quality of crops if the source of water is contaminated. Using pesticides increases the quality of crops, thus, it has a negative impact in the environment. The more pesticides is needed, and the risk of destroying the environment also increases. Calamities like typhoons greatly affects highland farms. Soil erosion is the most common issue that occurs. Techniques are developed to overcome the hazards that a typhoon brings. The amount of time and effort of every farmer is spent in preparing the soil where the crops will be planted. Organic fertilizers are being prepared for weeks before planting the crops.
Methodology. This will be the methods used in the study. Research design. This study is a quantitative descriptive design. As a descriptive type of research, it aims to describe the evaluation on the production of different agricultural crops in the highland farms of Aningalan. Respondents of the study. The respondents of the study are the locals of Aningalan, San Remeo, Antique, who owns an agricultural farm. Among all agricultural farm owners, active producers of crops will be selected and will answer a questionnaire that will be given personally by the researchers and will proper practice health protocols. The active owners of agricultural farms in Aningalan will be considered as the population. The research study will be conducted within the month of December 2020 through a survey by using questionnaire as the tool for data collection.
Sampling procedures. The study will use a purposive sampling where the researchers will choose the participants for the study based on the characteristics that the participant should possess. This method will help in choosing the appropriate respondents, which will give more accurate results. Instruments and instrumentation. The researchers will be using research-generated questionnaires which will be given to the chosen participants of the study. These questionnaires will act as an interview tool that will be used to gather the data that is needed. Variables such as production, quality, and techniques will be evaluated. The questions will be based on the readings, related literature, and thesis related to the study. In preparing the questions for the survey, some methodological consideration will also be used. Before being placed in a record, consultant would also approve and validate the instrument.
Data gathering procedure. The data will be collected using a questionnaire that will be given personally by the researchers to the local agricultural farm owners of Aningalan, San Remeo, and Tique to answer the given objectives. The respondents will be closely supervised and monitored by the researchers, making sure that the questions will be clear and understood. After data gathering, field editing and checking for the consistency and adequacy will be done within the data to make sure that the respondents answered completely and accurately. This study will be performed with the observance of ethical principles of the Code of Ethics in doing research. The researchers will request permission from the CPU department's senior high school principal's office to perform the research. The respondents shall be informed by giving accurate and sufficient data by answering the given questionnaire. The participants that will participate in the study will be chosen using purposive sampling. By any possibility, if a respondent decides to withdraw, his or her decision shall be respected. Data analysis. A 17-item questionnaire will be given to the respondents wherein the data collected will be presented using descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics is used to simply describe what is or what the data shows. To express the univariate data, mean, percentage, and frequency distribution will be utilized. A simple summary about the samples and the measures will also be given and will be shown using tables and graphical representations.
This questionnaire was created for the study to determine the result and outcome through data gathering, identifying the quality and output of agricultural products, with the respondents being the local farmers of Aningalan.
Thank you for listening and may God bless us all.